Hello friends, in this lecture we shall discuss Swiss challenge method. First of all, what this method is. Friends, this is a method for awarding contracts, particularly for infrastructure development projects. Infrastructure development projects involve huge investment, and one of the methods to award the contracts for implementation and execution of those projects is Swiss challenge method. It is quite innovative method. How it works? Friends, first of all, a private sector entity identifies a project. This project is called unsolicited project, and the private sector entity is known as project originator. Identification of this project can be by government also, or it can be by private sector entity also, that is project originator. The project originator, he makes a presentation to the government for approval, and this presentation includes the specifications of the project, the action plans, the terms of the contract, and time frame for completion of the project by the project originator. So once this is submitted to the government for approval, then if it is found suitable and beneficial by the government, it may ask the private originator, this project originator, to bring improvements in the project, or government may approve it. Once this is approved, then the government follows the procedure of competitive bidding. Government invites third parties to improve the original proposal. So this is in the form of a challenge to the third parties, and as such it is known as Swiss challenge. The proposals received from these third parties, so these bidders, then compared with the original unsolicited proposal. So once these proposals are received from third parties with improvements, then these are compared with the original proposal. If the selected bidder provides, these people, third parties, if they provide a better proposal, then original proposer is given an opportunity to make the proposal more competitive. Now this time, this opportunity, this challenge is given to the original proposer to improve upon the proposal to make it more competitive. Now it is possible that the original proposer is able to improve upon this, but where original proposer is not able to improve the offer, the project is offered to other selected bidder out of these. And original proposer, he is given reimbursement for the cost incurred in preparing the unsolicited proposal. So that is how this process gets completed. Now, this method has been approved by Government of India for financing infrastructure projects under PPP. So under Private Partnership Program, Government of India has already approved this method, and it is already being used. Supreme Court has also held that this method is beneficial to the government in as much as the government does not lose any revenue, as it is still getting highest possible value. So this decision was given by Supreme Court in a court case, Ravi Development versus Shri Krishna Prasthan and others. A number of projects in India have been financed by using this method by different states. Now, let us see how this method can be used in banks. Friends, during September 2016, RBI permitted banks that they may use this method for sale of NPA accounts. So nowadays, banks are selling NPA accounts, and RBI has permitted banks to make use of this method. If banks make use of this method, what procedure will be followed? Banks are maintaining a list of NPAs to be sold according to their policy. A prospective buyer of some NPA account can make an offer to the bank for purchase of a particular NPA. So banks are maintaining a list of NPAs, and it is possible that a prospective buyer may send an offer to the bank to purchase that NPA. If this offer is in cash and it is for an amount more than the minimum percentage according to bank policy, then the bank will publicly call counter bids from other buyers, including asset reconstruction companies. So once these bids are called, it becomes Swiss challenge. And after receiving those offers, the order of preference for sale of that NPA will be like this. So first preference will be given to asset reconstruction company, which is already having highest stake with the bank by purchasing NPA from that bank. Secondly, if ARC is not there, then original bidder will be given preference. Then third preference will be going to highest bidder during counter bidding process. So for sale of that NPA, this is the order of preference which bank will follow in selling that NPA. Now friends, how this method is beneficial? First of all, it promotes public-private partnership. It involves private parties, particularly in infrastructure financing, infrastructure development. Then it provides incentive to private entity for innovation. So private party is free to come out with the specification, with the terms and conditions, the time frame, by using innovations. So it provides incentive to private entity. Then it is creative and as well as cost effective because it involves innovation. Hence, it is a method for augmenting infrastructure development. But there is flip side also. It exposes the original proposer to competition, to delays and loss of innovative idea. Because the proposal of original proposer, once it is approved, then counter bidding is attracted by the government. So that may involve delay, and in case the original proposal does not get that contract, for him it will be loss of innovative idea. And then there can be chances of favoritism or unfairness to favor large corporates to bag contracts unless a transparent mechanism is put in place by the government. So this is flip side where precautions are required to be taken. Well friends, thank you for watching this video. I'm sure the contents of the video will benefit you. Thank you once again.